Okay. 3, 2, 1. Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and Chag Sameach. I'm Rabbi Dan Pernick, and today on the calendar appears to be October the 2nd. And yes, there are exciting and important items in the news, but on the Jewish calendar, what makes this an especially important day, especially beginning tonight, is that we are celebrating Shabbat, as we always have a chance to do on Friday nights. And of course, Shabbat continues into Saturday, all through Saturday until the nighttime when it ends. But we are also beginning one of the most joyous holiday seasons in the Jewish calendar, and that is Sukkot. And next week we'll get to the holidays that come at the end of Sukkot. But Sukkot begins tonight. It is a major, major harvest festival, and one which is celebrated in fine style by many of the Jews here in Rockland County. So we're going to do things a little bit differently today. We will be doing some singing, but we're going to have a little visual as well. We have some props that go along with the holiday. So unfortunately, even though I did put up my sukkah, I'm not able to take you out there right now. I was hoping that we might do this service this week in the sukkah, but hopefully next Friday we'll be able to do it in the sukkah, and I will see you there. But in the meantime, we're going to start with two songs. The first one we sing a lot. It is the Bim Bam song, wishing everybody a Shabbat Shalom. And then we'll get to a song that deals more with the festival of Sukkot. But first, sing along with me, please, on this October the 2nd, the 14th day of the month of Tishrei in the Jewish calendar year. The new year is now just about 2 weeks old. Here we go. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Now, the song we're going to sing right now, having to do with the festivals, is a very simple song, and it goes like this. The words are Chag Sameach. Chag Sameach. Chag Sameach, that's a Hebrew phrase, 2 words, Chag and Sameach. It's the equivalent, it's the same thing as the Yiddish that a lot of Jewish people know, Good Yontif, wishing you a good holiday. So it's Chag Sameach with a lot of la 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 la's, and then it says Shiru, 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 Chag Sameach. The word Shiru means sing. So the song is saying sing the words Chag Sameach. Ya 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 la la. That's it, okay? Let's give it a try. Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la. Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la. Shiru, 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 Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la. Shiru, 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 Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la. Okay, one more time. That's the whole song. Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la. Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la. Shiru, 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 Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la. Shiru, 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 Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la. Okay. One more song before we get to the kindling of the Shabbat and the holiday light. So, as I said, this is a very joyous time of the year. We have finished Rosh Hashanah, which is a pretty happy holiday, but very heavy holiday also. It's a very imposing holiday, right? Yom Kippur, obviously, is a very serious holiday. Sukkot is about celebrating. If you look outside tonight, if we have a clear sky, you'll see a full moon, which is beautiful. We build a sukkah on this holiday. It's about being in God's creation and celebrating God's creation and enjoying the harvest of God's creation. So it's a wonderful, wonderful time. So we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But in the meantime, it's a time to be happy. So if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray. If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray. Okay, very good. All right, so now we're going to be kindling the light. I'm going to be doing a little moving around during our service today because we got a lot of stuff to include in our service. So we have our candles or our battery-powered light, and normally we use this to say the blessing over the Sabbath light. But as I said, the festival of Sukkot, which some Jews call Sukkos. Sukkot, Sukkos, it's exactly the same thing. It's like potato, right? I grew up right next to Canada, and a lot of times people there, instead of aluminum, they say aluminium, right? It's the same thing. Anyhow, so the blessing that we're going to say tonight is a blessing over Shabbat and for Yom Tov. Yom Tov, Yontif, okay, the holiday. So it goes like this. First, we're going to light the... There we go. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner, shel Shabbat, v'shel Yom Tov. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe. You have sanctified us with your commandments, and you have commanded us to kindle the Sabbath light and the light of the festival. And we say, Amen. So I'm going to put these down right now. And we're going to join together in singing one of the most central teachings of the Jewish religion. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to some of the stars of the festival of Sukkot. So it is in the third book of the Bible, the book of Leviticus, where it says that on the 15th day of the month, we should take the fruit of a goodly tree, and we should take branches, we should take willow branches, we should take a palm branch, and we should take a bow of leafy trees, and we should wave them and celebrate this festival of the Lord. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do is we're going to put the entire lulav together. Now, I'm not going anywhere. Stay with me. These are brand new, right out of the box. So the lulav, the word lulav literally is a palm branch, and that's what this is. This is a big palm branch, and it's in this little thing just to kind of hold it. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to just put this down here for a moment. And we have here the rabbis close to 2,000 years ago had lots of discussions about what it means to have the boughs of a leafy tree, and they came up with the myrtle. So these are myrtle branches. All right, so we're going to put the myrtle branches right into one of these holders. You see we have two holders right there, one on this side, one on that side. And so we're going to put the branches in there. Try not to have too many leaves come off, which seems to happen a lot. We're going to get those in there. Oh, that looks pretty good. Good. And now we're going to put the willow branches in. So I'm going to get the willow branches. The myrtle smells really good. It doesn't have any taste, but it smells really good. Okay, and these are willows, willow branches. And we are going to put those into that other side of the lulav, right over here. And we put that together. Good. Now, that's not everything though, because we have maybe one of the stars of the show, if you will. We have what is called the fruit of a goodly tree. And this gets special attention. It doesn't just come in plastic, he gets a box, special box. And it is known as an etrog, and many Jews call it an esrig. All right? And there's one little part at the top of it that if it gets damaged, the whole thing is worthless. So not only does it come in a box, I'm opening this for the first time, and you see we've got some very soft, spongy material here at the top. And then we reach inside, I'll let you see, take out the etrog, or the esrig, if you will. Now, I'm going to explain these symbols. First of all, these symbols represent the 4 different regions of Israel, from the desert to the north to the valley, etc. And all 4 of these items require very large amounts of water. They all need a lot of water in order to grow. And that's important because when we get to the end of Sukkot, we start saying the prayers for rain. All right? In Israel, unlike our part of the world, and this isn't only true in Israel, but it's true in that whole part of the world, it doesn't rain all year long. It only rains for a certain time of the year. And that would be kind of like from Sukkot till Passover. All right? And if they don't get enough rain during that time, that's it. They're not really getting any more during the year. I mean, maybe they'll get a day, some freak little shower. But basically, that's it. So they're very, very dependent on rain. And there are all kinds of celebrations and ceremonies, etc., and prayers for rain. So these items, which are described in the Torah, represent the harvest. And like I said, Sukkot is, in part, a harvest festival. They also represent Jews. Now, what do I mean? These represent Jews. So the rabbis tell us that each one of these items represents different kinds of Jews. So, first of all, we have the myrtle over here. And the myrtle has a lovely aroma. It smells really, really good. But it doesn't have any taste. And the idea there is that, and let me make sure I get this exactly right, Okay. All right. Is that right? So there are Jews who possess good deeds. They perform commandments, right? But they don't really have learning. Now, we also have the willow over here. And the willow, I'm going to be better off with this right over here. The willow of the valley, represents a different type of Jew. And this represents Jews who don't have good deeds and they don't have learning. Because the willow doesn't have any taste, then it doesn't have any smell. Okay? So the myrtle represents Jews who have one, but they don't have the other. The palm branch represents, it has taste. Okay, maybe some of you eat different things with palms. It's not one of my favorites, but some people do. So the palm has taste, but it has no smell. And that represents Jews who study, who learn Torah, but they don't have mitzvahs to their credit. They don't perform good deeds. And finally, we have the etrog, which has a very definite smell and a taste. And that represents Jews who have both good deeds to their credit and who learn, who study Torah. So what we do is we take these four items together in our hand. All right, usually we do this upside down. And we say a blessing. And the blessing is one which says in English, "Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe. You have made us special through your commandments, and you have commanded us to shake the lulav." So I'm going to say it in Hebrew, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat lulav. And then we shake it all in front, we shake it behind, we shake it to the right, shake it to the left, shake it up, shake it down, and then we smell the very aromatic etrog. Now, and unfortunately I can't share this with you as we do most years. These are also said to represent the human body because the palm branch represents the spine, the myrtle, these right here, represent our eyes. The willow branches, which are longer, represent our lips, and the etrog, right here, represents our heart. So this is representative of people, just as it is of different kinds of Jews. So these are many of the main symbols of the holiday, but of course there's one more that I am not able to, I just want to put the etrog back in a safe place. There is one more that I'm not able to carry with us right now, and that is the sukkah. And it says also in the Torah that we are to dwell in a sukkah for 7 days. Now, in biblical times, they actually lived in the sukkah for 7 days. And some Jews try to do that, but of course sometimes it rains. And the roof of the sukkah has to be open so we can appreciate all the gifts of nature. It's not a solid structure. Part of the idea of the holiday is to represent how God protected us, protected the children of Israel when we were wandering for 40 years. So that's why the sukkah is not made out of concrete. It's not made out of big rocks or steel. It's made out of wood or very flimsy material. A good wind will blow it down. So it's a reminder that when we were wandering for 40 years, God made sure that we didn't blow away, and God took good care of us. So we celebrate the holiday, we eat all this good food, and when we shook the lulav in all those directions, we're also expressing our hope and our prayer that God will bring food and water in all those directions so that there will be a good harvest. Because we know if people don't have food, well, you know what happens. It's not like we could say, well, I'll go to a different restaurant, or I'll go to a different supermarket, or I'll go to a different city. You know, if there's no food at all, then it doesn't matter where you go, there's just no food, and it's not a good ending. So we want there to be food. We want everybody to have lots to eat, everybody to be happy, and hopefully to live in peace and harmony And so that is part of what we are doing on this holiday. We are celebrating, but we're also praying that God will continue to bless us with the bounty of the harvest. And this holiday, which, as I said, obviously is commanded in the Bible, is the basis for the American celebration of Thanksgiving. Not that the Pilgrims did it exactly with a lulav or an etrog, but they knew their Bible, and they knew that when they harvest, they are supposed to have a festival of thanksgiving and celebration to the Lord. And so it's exactly the same thing that it's the same reason we celebrate Sukkot, and they ended up with Thanksgiving the way we celebrate it today. So more about that. Sukkot is a 7 or an 8-day holiday, depending on where you live and maybe how you observe. Like I said, it's very joyous. We invite people into our sukkah. This year, that's a little bit more difficult. But very often we invite historical Jewish personalities as well, like King David, maybe Abraham. You can think of other people that you might like to invite. If you had the chance to invite somebody into your sukkah, who would you invite? Maybe you would invite one of your parents who's no longer living, or maybe another family member or a friend, maybe somebody from the Bible. So think about it. If you had a chance to talk to somebody for 10, 15, 20 minutes, who would you want to talk with? It's an interesting topic. Maybe you can discuss among yourselves who you might like to talk with. If you had the chance, you could bring anybody back from history, who would you like to talk with? It's an interesting question. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sing another joyous song of celebration, and that is Hava Nagila, Come Let Us Rejoice and Be Happy. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila Venismecha. Hey, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila Venismecha. Hava Neranana, Hava Neranana, Hava Neranana Venismecha. Hava Neranana, Hava Neranana, Hava Neranana Venismecha. Uru, Uru Achim, Uru Achim, B'lev Sameach, Uru Achim, B'lev Sameach, Uru Achim, B'lev Sameach, Uru Achim, B'lev Sameach, Uru Achim, Uru Achim, B'lev Sameach. Now, of course, as I said before, part of the idea of Sukkot is that life is fragile. We never know what's going to happen, right? Things can change very, very suddenly. So a lot of you woke up to the news this morning about the president's health, and something that took many people by surprise, obviously. But a lot of times there are other things that come up, and it's like, whoa, it just changes our world very dramatically. So we know that one of the things that can give us stability and security, which is something that most people want, is peace. And so we're going to move towards the end of our service today with a traditional Jewish prayer for peace, Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael, Ve'imru, Imru, Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael. So Sukkot, lasting a week or in some cases a little longer, is a very happy holiday. And we have 2 or 3 different holidays that come at the very end, which we will talk more about next week. But one of the big ones there is called Simchat Torah, or Simchas Torah. And it's the holiday in which we read the very end of the Torah, and then we don't stop and wait till the next week. We go immediately all the way back to the beginning, and we start all over. So more about that next week, and we're going to finish up now with Ein Keloheinu, there is no one like our God. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadoneinu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mi Eloheinu, Mi Adonenu, Mi Chemalkeinu, Mi Chemoshienu, No del Eloheinu, No del Adonenu, No del Malkeinu, No del Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. And now, of course, we've got the fruit of the vine, which is not only perfect for Shabbat, but not bad to have a glass while you sit in your sukkah, which I hope I'll have the opportunity to do this coming week. I'm looking forward to that. So now we give thanks to God for all of the blessings that God has given us on Shabbat, and especially anytime we have a holiday, we want to say thank you. We want to appreciate all the blessings that we have, even if not everything's perfect, but we're very, very fortunate. We really all are, and sometimes we just have to take a moment and look around and realize, yeah, okay, we're a lot better off than a lot of other people, and give thanks for that. So we say the blessing, which means, blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, the creator of the fruit of the vine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim. That is good stuff. So once again, we have the lulav, the branches of the lulav. We have the etrog, which I have put into its safe home. And as of tonight, you can start a little before tonight, but when we see people, we can wish them a good Yontif, or a Chag Sameach. It's a very joyous holiday, like I said. It's the festival of gathering. It's also known as Chag HaAsif. Like I said, the festival of gathering. But most people call it Sukkot or Sukkot. So I'm going to close by asking God's blessing upon you. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yechuneka. May the Lord's presence shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Lord's presence be lifted up unto you, and may God fill your lives with the blessing of peace. And all together we say, Amen. Those words of blessing from the Torah, from the 4th book of the Bible, the book of Numbers. And so on this October the 2nd, the 14th day of the Jewish New Year, specifically in the month of Tishrei, I'm Rabbi Daniel Pernick, and I want to wish you all Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach, good Yontif, and I look forward to seeing you next Friday as our celebrations continue. Everybody stay safe, be healthy, and God bless you.